Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome officially to grade 2. I bet you're all excited to start with grade 2 work, so we're going to jump right in. We are going to start with a story this week, and we are going to answer some questions about that story. So listen very carefully. Let's get started.
Let's look at some icky, tricky words that we might find in our story. Remember to also write these words in your personal dictionary. Squinted, to look at someone or something with one or both eyes partly closed in an attempt to see more clearly or as a reaction to strong light. Whizzed, to move quickly through the air with a whistling sound. Perched, to sit or rest on something high or narrow, like these birds on the pole. A breeze is a gentle wind. Garland, it's a wreath of flowers and leaves, usually worn on the head or hung as a decoration, such as at Christmas time. Let's read together. The story's name is Tortoise Finds His Home. What do you think the story would be about? Will Tortoise find his home? Where do you think he found it? And do you think there are other animals in this story? Let's find out. One day, Tortoise was walking through the veld. He was searching and searching. He gazed into the distance and squinted at the grass. Then he passed Snail. "Are you looking for something?" Snail asked. "Yes, Snail, I'm looking for my house. Have you seen it by any chance?" Snail said, "No, I haven't, but I'll help you look." She climbed onto Tortoise's shell. Tortoise walked on with Snail on his back. They looked and looked, but there was no sign of a house. The sun was high in the sky. A little later, they passed Sparrow.
"Are you looking for something?"
asked Sparrow. "Yes, Sparrow, I'm looking for my house. Have you seen it by any chance?" Sparrow said.
"No, I haven't, but I'll help you look."
Sparrow flapped his wings and whizzed away. "You're going too fast," called Tortoise.
"All right then, I'll hop on too."
Tortoise walked on with Snail and Sparrow perched on his shell. They looked and looked, but there was no sign of a house. The sun had inched lower in the sky. A little later, they passed Ladybird. "Are you looking for something?" asked Ladybird. "Yes, Ladybird, I'm looking for my house. Have you seen it by any chance?" Ladybird said, "No, I haven't, but I'll help you look." She hopped onto Tortoise's back, and off they went with Snail and Sparrow and Ladybird sitting on his back. They looked and looked, but there was no sign of a house. A breeze started to blow. A little later, they passed Mouse. He was making a garland of daisies.
"Are you looking for something?"
asked Mouse. "Yes, Mouse, I'm looking for my house. Have you seen it by any chance?" Mouse said.
"No, I haven't, but I'll help you look."
He hopped onto Tortoise's back.
"Wait, I can't leave my flowers behind."
Tortoise waited. Mouse stretched and scooped up the daisies. Tortoise walked on with Snail and Sparrow and Ladybird and Mouse on his back. They looked and looked, but there was no sign of a house. The wind swept away leaves off the ground and swirled them around Tortoise's feet. Tortoise got tired. "You lot are heavy," he sighed. The wind got stronger. The sky turned dark. "Oh, where is my house?" asked Tortoise. Thunder roared in the hills. Lightning flashed in the distance. Drip, drap came the rain. "Oh, where is Tortoise's house?" asked Snail and Sparrow and Ladybird and Mouse. The wind whirled and whipped. It blew Snail and Sparrow and Ladybird and Mouse right off Tortoise's back. Then came the hail. Tip, tip, tip. Tortoise got such a fright that he shrank into his shell. It was warm and cozy in there. "Oh, here is my house." Silly Tortoise. Let's look at some questions. Remember that there are more questions in your activity pack. Did you predict correctly? Did everything that you thought would happen in the beginning of the story happen? Did Tortoise find his home? Yes, he did. How did he find his home? It was on his back all along. Were there other animals in the story? Yes, there were 4 other animals in the story. Who is the main character in the story? Can you remember? That's right, it was Tortoise. Did his friends help him find his house? Yes, they did. What do you think makes a good friend? Think carefully about this. A good friend is kind, they are helpful, they are sharing and they share things. A good friend is protecting and will protect you against bullies or if you are being hurt. A good friend is a good listener. They listen to you. Good friends are honest. They are loyal and you can trust them. Here is what some other children had to say about what makes a good friend.
Good friend is someone that cheers you up when you're down.
What I think makes a good friend is when they are kind to me and they don't exclude me.
A good friend would come to my soccer games and cheer me on. Woo!
A good friend to me means that somebody who's caring.
Someone who's trustworthy and is responsible. Someone who I always want to tell good news. Somebody who really has my back.
Someone who you can trust.
They admit when they're wrong.
Like if you go play with another friend, they're not going to yell at you because that would just be jealous. What I think a good friend is somebody who comforts you whenever you're sad or you're just feeling low that day.
They're always by your side no matter what.
A good friend always laughs at your jokes.
What makes a person a true friend is that they have good eyes and they're really cheerful.
I hope you all had as much fun as I did. Until next time.